Well, it looks like Alita Battle Angel fans, we do have some good news, sort of. The movie has reached the $400 million international mark. And so as of like, I think Sunday, it reached that point. So I think past this point, everything is profit. It depends on where you read. You know, there's people saying it had to reach 500 million, 400, 450, 350. You know, those are supposed to be those are the break-even points, depending on what source you go to. And past that point, it's all making money. So, you know, 400 century marks are always big milestones for movies. You know, like 100 million, 300 million, 400, 500 million. You know, something with zeros after it. And so Alita Battle Angel has passed this milestone. And unfortunately, I don't think it's going to pass 500 million. But I'm thinking that a movie that cost 170 million to make, if that figure's accurate, a $400 million box office take, you know, you should be making some money off that. You know, I think you've passed your break-even point, right? Because $170 million, like if you double that to count in advertising and marketing, that still doesn't add up to 400 million, so it should be profit, right? And if you think about it, the movie's still going to make more money because it's still in theaters. And China, because they like that movie so much, they extended its running time or release time where it will be playing through April, which is unusual. China doesn't do that often for American movies. Or, you know, they only pick a certain few, and they pick this one. So it has more money to make through April, at least in that country. I know America only gets like 25% of what movies make in China, but that's still something. That's still, you know, a profit. So, you know, I'm hoping that Alita gets to 420 to 450, and then maybe it'll perform well on streaming, you know, DVD, digital, Blu-ray, things like that. I'm sure it will eventually turn a profit. And so, you know, I hope James Cameron and Robert Rodriguez, I think it's James Cameron who's the one who says yay or nay. I do hope they make a sequel and continue with this series because I thought that movie was excellent. It's a movie a lot of people, they underestimated it, so they didn't go see it, but they didn't know how amazing it was. I've talked to multiple people and heard them say they didn't see the movie themselves, but they've heard from people who've seen it, and the people they've heard it from told them the movie is amazing. And so just imagine if the marketing and advertising for that movie had been better, or people hadn't expected it to be like a Ghost in the Shell kind of movie and had decided to actually go see it. More people in the world would know how amazing this movie is, how amazing I know it is, and probably you know how it is if you're watching this video. So, you know, I hope that we do get an Alita 2, either in theaters or maybe on Netflix or something. And, you know, James Cameron's able to finish what he originally started, because that story was so spectacular, that movie was so well directed and so beautifully shot and acted that, you know, I've been hoping and praying that we would get a sequel. But, you know, it hasn't been setting the box office on fire. That's why we're all, like, excited over, like, a $400 million take, which isn't really that much these days by blockbuster standards. But this movie was originally, I think, supposed to fail. Like, people were expecting it to make even less money than this. So the fact that it was able to make, like, you know, 200 or 300 million, a complete flop. So the fact that it's able to keep fighting just a little bit to, you know, get a little bit of profit says that a lot of people have discovered this movie and discovered how amazing it is. And there are people seeing it multiple times to try to save it. I've seen the movie 4 times. And I'm not the only one who's seen it multiple times with the goal of trying to help it out. I think there are people who've seen it like 10 times. So, you know, I hope that this is a sign at least to James Cameron and, you know, the studios that there is a fan base for this movie. And if, you know, they do a number 2 and really market it out really well, they'll be able, and, you know, actually treat this movie as a potential blockbuster rather than, you know, having an anemic marketing campaign for a movie they didn't expect to do well. You know, if they had faith in the movie and really promoted it like an awesome A-level movie, maybe the sequel will do well. I'm pretty sure it'll make a killing. It'll get good views on Netflix if it goes there. My concern is if it's on Netflix, I hope it looks as good as it looked, you know, for a theatrical release. Because sometimes when movies come out on streaming or DVD, you know, it looks like a movie that's on streaming or DVD. But, you know, Netflix does, you know, pay top dollar, spend top dollar in their movies. You know, like Bright, the Will Smith movie, that looked really good. And there's other movies they put on there with great special effects, you know, like theatrical level. I think Roma wasn't a sci-fi movie, but that was that, you know, Oscar movie. That was like a streaming movie, but it was good enough, legit enough to be nominated for Best Picture Oscar. So, you know, Netflix is probably the network that can make an Alita 2 look just as good as it would look for theaters. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that Alita will make money, at least some money, and not lose the studio money, so that the studio and James Cameron will know that if they do an Alita 2, there'll be an audience for it. I know I'm going to see it if it comes out. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like it on YouTube and subscribe to the channel because I appreciate your viewership, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.